Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. This is Dark Valentine 1984 coming right back at you. I'm doing this particular tutorial for the simple fact that it's going to be an add-on of the SvC Chaos Dialog tutorial that I did before. But let's get one more thing straight, okay? I can see that some of you have a bit of a misunderstanding at some of the things I say in my video. I need you to take a little bit of a note, okay? I need you to take the note that everything that you see me do in my video, you don't necessarily have to do it. I mean, you could do it your way. You could follow what's going on, or you could do it yours. Either way is fine. Yes, I'm recording with Snagit, but I'm also going to record with Hypercam at the same time to give you a good, rough idea of how it's done. And yes, my desktop does look like this. I'm a neat motherfucker. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and cover the part that I forgot to mention on my SvC Chaos Dialog tutorial with Camtasia Studio. See, I've been getting PMs and messages about the other required videos that you have to get. The misunderstanding is people think that you have to go ahead and download these videos yourself. Well, technically, no. No, you do not have to do that. Okay? The only thing you have to do is open Mugen or get a Stage Viewer. You're going to have to do both anyway. You're going to have to go and get Stage Viewer from the Download Tools section of Random Select. Okay? Just go to Random Select, /IXL.com or whatever, and go to the Download Tools section. And you want to get Stage Viewer version 0.67. Okay, that's the most recent version they have. You're going to need this. For those of you who do not know what it looks like, this is what it looks like. Yes, it works as a beta. Okay, but let's get on with the video. Okay, the video is going to explain to you the necessary screen videos that you'll need in order to make this work right. Okay, so first things first, you're going to need the actual screen of the stage you're going to use for the date and play, like the time and place. So this is where Stage Viewer comes in handy. This is one of the videos I talked about in my previous tutorial. You'll need Stage Viewer to do this. Okay, after you got Stage Viewer and you got it to find your Mugen folder, you run that program and it'll appear before you, just like so. Normally you can click on Stage List and it makes the stage list appear. The names will appear just as the way the files were named. When you click on a stage, it shows that particular stage. You can check it. It's basically a stage viewer to assist Mugen stage creators. So let's just say I want to use the Orchid stage by Airmains. So we'll go with that, and I want to use this. All right, but I don't want it to move this fast because it's gonna be a bitch trying to slow this down. I mean, you can still use Windows Movie Maker if you want to slow your video down. And for those of you who want to do that instead of doing it like I'm going to show you, you can. But if you want to do it the way I'm about to show you, then just pay attention. Okay, I want this to move slow so I don't have to do it later. I just click on Options and I'll click on FPS Limiter. That's going to make it move fast. You can tell it's moving fast in the background. And I'll click on Options and I'll click on FPS Limiter again, and they're going to ask me max frames per second. Now this is kind of important here. Depending on what max frame per second you want it to be set to, that's the way it's going to move. So I'd say I want my max frames per second to be, let's say 8, and I'll click OK. Now you can tell in the background it's moving a bit slower. Now as I hold down on the keyboard here, it's moving slower. Move left, and I move right. I'll move right, then move left. And I can do diagonally. As long as I have control of the keyboard, I can do this. You also can put a character here if you want to. For those wondering, I did use Stage Viewer to do the cutscene with Ash walking on the Ash in VG Hell series, in case you wondered. So now you know how I did that. Anyway, what I want to do is I want Hypercam to get this exactly how I want it. I just wanted a few seconds. So the thing you need to make ahead of time, I'm going to close this out. You're going to have to make your example video folder. Whatever you have going into this folder, whatever you do is going to appear here. You want to have everything you need in one folder. So we're going to keep that down there. Okay, we're going to run Stage Viewer again. And I'm going to go ahead and record that part that I wanted. What I wanted is, since it can scroll down, I wanted to do like SvC Chaos would do it, since trying to do it with characters on the screen is a bit of a pain. So let's go ahead and do this. You pick any stage. It doesn't have to be this exact stage. Just a stage that's able to scroll. As long as it can scroll, then you're alright. Even if it doesn't scroll, you're still alright. So just open any stage. I'm going to use this stage as an example. Okay, change the frames per second here to 8. Okay. Now, right before I start doing this, I'll go ahead and click on Stage List. Makes the stage list disappear. I don't exactly need that. Now I'm going to go ahead to my preferred video recording program, which I'm going to use Hypercam for this, since I can just click on Select Window and a little border appear for it. Now change my start X and Y position. This I need. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to record just this. I just want a few seconds to where it looks like an intro could be done, or the time and date. So let's do this. I'll start recording, and I'll just do it like that. I just keep tapping whichever direction I'm going in. By me setting it at 8 frames per second, I can just tap it and it looks like it's normally moving on a slow video. I don't necessarily have to slow the video down on Windows Movie Maker to do it. Now when I'm done, I can just immediately click on stop recording and I can play just to test it. Okay, now that I've seen how I want it done, we can just go ahead and close this out. Stage Viewer now is no longer needed due to this. Okay, now that we have that, as you can see, I have my first example video. That's out of the way and it's in raw AVI format. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make another file. Okay, we're going to make another one. I'll just name this one. I'll just name it example 2. Okay, now once we have that out of the way, we're gonna need the second part, which will be the actual stand-up part. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and run Mugen. I already got 2 pre-selected characters here: Mr. X Files Adele and Mr. X Files Rugal. Okay, I'm gonna use them as examples. The thing you're going to need to do, though, is you're going to need to at least be able to disable your life bar and power bar at the very start of the match. You can do that by pressing Control L on your keyboard, okay? But you have to have debug keys turned on. You can take debug mode off, but you need your debug keys in order to do this. So if you have to, go into your mugen.cfg file and use that, or if you're the type who uses Mugen Windows Configurator like I do, I'll just click on the mugen.cfg file and just click on debug, and I can just turn it on from there. Since I'm a Mugen Windows Configurator user, this is pretty much easy for me, even though I know how to do it both ways. But enough about that. Let's get back to the arena mode. And I'm going to go ahead and click on start and show you what I mean. Okay, your window's pulling up. Now while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and select my window here. Now I have my position ready. I didn't necessarily have to do it like that, but I have it like that now. Now as you see, I have the life bars just appearing here, but I did not press Control L that time. I wanted to get Hypercam ready, or whatever video recording program I'm going to use. So I'm going to hit escape. It'll bring me back here. Now sometimes it always doesn't work when you want to try and press Control L before the fight itself appears. Sometimes you got to do it a few times. If you're lucky enough to get it on the first try, go for it. Now another crucial, I'll do it like this. Hold on. Let's see. Start it, and it didn't do it. See, I have to pay close attention as to when it's going to do it. So let's try it again. It didn't do it again. See, it's a bit of a difficulty. You got to struggle with this, even if you're trying to do it like that. I could do it without, but it's a lot easier if you could do it before it comes on. Even if it doesn't happen afterwards, you can still cut off the life bars if you want. I mean, that's an option on you. See, that's what happens when I try to cut the life bars off. If you have characters that have actual talking cutscene before the fight, and you try to cut it off, it's going to make that cutscene go away. You want to keep that cutscene. So it did it again. Let me try again one more time. There we go. Now at this point, depending on how long you want that particular dialogue to go on, you want this recording to go on for as long as you possibly need it. I'd say the max amount of time for most dialogue screens is actually supposed to be a minute. That's about the most it could allow. From the time the first words come up until the time the word ends should be at least no longer than a minute. But it really depends on how much script you have. Now as you see, I just have them standing there idle. I need them to be as idle for as long as I can. Alright? Once I get a good idea in my head how long I want them to be idle, then I can go ahead and try and record it like this. But you have a general idea of how this is supposed to go. So I'm going to close it out. I'm going to prepare Hypercam or whatever video recording tool I'm going to use. And we're going to do it like this. So let's try it again. Alright, now that it's actually recording, I'm going to let it go for maybe about a minute or so. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. Yes, I'm actually doing this for people who wants to rush through this, rush through this kind of quick. I rush on my own time. If you don't feel like rushing, then just kind of fast forward this, if it's loaded up for you already. Okay, but I can explain a little something as well. Like I said, just depending on how long you actually want this done, then you can basically do it like that if you want to. Okay, you don't necessarily have to split the videos up into 3 parts or more. If you feel like you want to do this all in one run, then I mean, by all means, go for it. I'm giving you guys an option here. I'm giving you guys the option to basically do it the way you feel like you want it done. Okay? Now that we've explained that, I'll just stop the recording. Or I can click on it, it didn't matter. And I just click on escape. Now we have that done. Now comes the actual fight. I'll just do a test fight here. Just for kicks. I'm going to do a test fight. Alright. Example 3. Minimize this. Now we're going to go back in our folder real quick, and you'll see that now I have 2 files. The first one is example. I'm just using it as an example. It's the actual dialogue part. The second one is the actual well, the actual time and date part first, well, time and place part, first one. The second video is the actual screen where the characters will just stand with each other, and you can put the dialogue there. The third and final video is going to be the actual fight that you're going to have. But you can, like I said, you can put on for as many as you want to. If you plan on doing a story, you're going to need a lot of these videos. But if you just plan on doing a single fight, then I mean, you only need like 3 or 4 files, 3 or 4 video files. So now that we have that, I'm just going to run a quick match here, just to show you exactly what I'm talking about here, that you do need this. Okay, I'll just run a quick match. Now, here's a little thing you want to note. Don't have any music playing. If you want to add this correctly, then just leave music off. Take music off your stage. If you're using what I'm using, then just don't add music. Don't add none whatsoever. Your character you may be lucky and get a character with actual win quote. If you're lucky, then you don't have to make it. If you have to make it, well, I'll probably make a tutorial on that later, but that's once I make my own. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and get to the action, alright? You're going to need the last thing, which is the fight part of the video that you're going to use. So, let's go. Now notice I don't have any music playing for this. Yeah, I really do need you to notice this. Because whatever music you're going to use your preferred video editing program to use your music on. You don't necessarily have to use Mugen while it's going like this for music. So it's going to be a wise decision to actually use the music on your video editing program. You're also kind of saving a bit of space on the video, on the Mugen video itself, if you don't have any music playing while the match is going. But just doing it by the editing program of your choice kind of saves you a bit of time. As you see, he's just owning his ass. That's why I love Mr. X-Files characters. They fucking own. And here comes win quote. Yes, that owned. It owned serious ass. And that pretty much just about does it for this. And if you check your folder, now you have 3 files. One is your actual date and time, well, place and location video. One is going to be the actual character stance video, and the other one is going to be the actual fight. Now, you might have to trim some of it off, but if you need more help, just refer to my previous tutorial. That should be more than enough help for you, okay? Well, I hope that covers the part I didn't explain before, and you wonder why this was a long process and why I didn't explain it before, because this itself, despite my talking, is a separate process, but it's all in one once you get the hang of it. Well, that just about does it for this tutorial. This is Dark Valentine 1984, signing out till the next time. Peace.